The Flynn Effect. Why are we smarter than our grandparents? Part 1. The Anomaly. The year is 1952. A child sits at a wooden desk, pencil trembling over a mimeographed IQ test. The questions are blunt instruments. Asterisk, name this object. Repeat these numbers. Solve this arithmetic puzzle. Fluorescent lights hum overhead. The examiner's stopwatch ticks like a metronome of judgment. Fast forward 70 years. That same test now feels archaic, almost quaint. Today's subjects swipe through digital assessments where shapes morph in fractal patterns, where logic unfolds in nested layers. The room itself has changed. No more sterile classrooms, but dynamic interfaces responding in real time. And yet, when psychologists compare the scores across generations, something impossible emerges. The modern child isn't just scoring higher, they're thinking differently. Like a time traveler outperforming their ancestors at their own game. This was the enigma that haunted James Flynn. It began with a spreadsheet, rows of numbers that shouldn't have added up. IQ tests, by design, were standardized to keep the average at 100. But year after year, the tests had to be recalibrated, made harder, just to keep pace with climbing scores. The trend was undeniable. Each generation outscored the last by roughly 3 points per decade. Not in narrow specialties, but across the board: abstract reasoning, spatial logic, even vocabulary. Flynn's discovery upended a fundamental assumption: intelligence wasn't static. Humanity was getting smarter. But why? The first whispers of explanation carried a Darwinian allure. Were we evolving? Had natural selection sculpted sharper minds in mere decades? The truth, as always, was more unsettling. Evolution works in millennia, not report cards. This wasn't a change in our hardware, it was something far more profound. We taught them the game, and they learned to play it better than we ever could. Yet beneath this triumph lurked a paradox. As cognitive abilities soared, something else was slipping away, ancestral skills fading like ink in the rain. And in the shadows, a darker question: what if this ascent wasn't infinite? Part 2. The Catalysts. 3 silent revolutions reshaped the modern mind. First, education. The 20th century didn't just expand access to schooling, it transformed how we teach. Compare a 1920s classroom, drilling times tables and memorizing capitals, to today's lessons framing math as symbolic puzzles, history as systems of cause and effect. Rote repetition gave way to abstract frameworks. We stopped asking children what to think and taught them how to think. The result? A generation fluent in hypotheticals. Imagine if, suppose that, what's the underlying pattern? These became the mantras of childhood. Second, technology's invisible gymnasium. Every smartphone is a cognitive personal trainer. Video games demand split-second risk assessment. Social media forces us to navigate shifting contexts. Irony here, sincerity there. A dozen personas tailored to invisible audiences. Even the humble TV remote altered our brains. Studies show that children raised with channel surfing develop faster visual processing than those raised on static books. The modern world is a relentless obstacle course of mental agility. Third, the silent ally, nutrition. Iodized salt alone boosted global IQ by eliminating thyroid-related cognitive impairments. Prenatal vitamins. Protein-rich diets. The near eradication of lead poisoning. Each tweak to our biochemistry cleared fog from the engine of cognition. But progress always exacts a price. As abstract thinking flourished, ancestral skills atrophied. The average medieval farmer could identify 100 plants by scent. Today, we struggle to name 5. Mnemonic techniques that built cathedrals from memory are now circus tricks. Consider chess. Grandmasters today outperform their predecessors not because of deeper intuition, but because they've trained with AI, masters of a game humans no longer dominate. We taught them the game, but the game keeps changing. Part 3. The Plateau. Then, the curve began to flatten. Scandinavian studies in the 2000s detected the first signs. IQ gains slowing, even reversing in some demographics. The Flynn Effect, it seemed, had limits. Theories proliferated. Had we hit diminishing returns on nutrition? Had screen time's distractions outweighed its cognitive benefits? Or was this simply the natural ceiling of our adaptive potential? The reverse Flynn effect triggered alarm. Some pointed to education systems prioritizing standardized testing over critical thinking. Others blamed information overload, the constant drip feed of notifications fracturing sustained thought. But the most haunting possibility, that intelligence isn't a ladder, but a river. It carves new channels when obstacles arise, then settles into equilibrium. Yet there's hope in that metaphor. Rivers don't flow backward, they adapt. The skills we've lost, manual navigation, oral storytelling, tactile craftsmanship, may yet resurge as needed. Meanwhile, new capacities emerge: digital literacy, metacognition, ethical reasoning in an interconnected world. We taught them the game, and now they're rewriting the rules. Human intelligence isn't a fixed peak to summit. It's a landscape, endlessly reshaped by the currents of culture, technology, and necessity. The Flynn effect reveals our mind's breathtaking plasticity, not because we're evolving, but because we're responding. The river keeps flowing, and its banks will always be works in progress. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.